What's up, guys? I'm Red,
I'm Stunna Steve.
and welcome to the Exclusive Jon Wrestling Wrestlemania 41 prediction video.
Here we go, baby.
This weekend, best weekend of the year. This is like a Super Bowl for wrestling, you know?
Oh, yeah.
We are in Las Vegas. We got two nights of stacked WrestleMania matches, and we're just going to go down. We're going to, break down each match, talk about who we'd like to win, what might happen, any just predictions or rumors floating around. We're going to give it all to you. So let's start this out. Night one. Now, keep in mind here, the matches haven't necessarily been announced as far as, who's going to be starting each night. So we're kind of just guessing here, right? Kind of just guessing here.
Yeah.
We know the main events. We don't know who Randy's facing yet, so we're going to talk about that a little bit. Talk about any rumors, stuff like that. Let's start off. Our idea for the opener of the show has got to be main event Jey Uso versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. I'll let you start this one off. We might have different predictions too, so y'all let us know in the comments who you're siding with, what's going on here. What do you got?
All right. So for me personally, this match, the build-up has been, touch and go sometimes. It starts off hot, cools down a little bit. When Jey Uso won the Rumble, we were there. It was loud. People were okay with it. People were down with it. We wanted Cena to win, but we were all yeeting. It was great. So I think this match could be a little underrated here in the aspect of I think it'll be a good performance. The storyline may not be an A plus, but I think Gunther is a great enough performer. I think Jey is a great enough performer that we will have a great match here. And I gotta go Jey. I think no matter how you look at it, right now it's Jey's time. Gunther had a great run, and we can see what he does after this. But right now, we all gotta yeet.
I couldn't agree with you more. The story at first wasn't all there, but I feel like over the past few weeks, especially with what happened to Jimmy, he left Jimmy a bloody mess. The story has been elevating, right? Jey has been getting more locked in, and we've seen their matches before. Their matches before necessarily weren't great, right?
Yeah.
We saw kind of the same stuff. Super kick, spear, chop. So I think they've heard that feedback. At least I hope they've heard that feedback from the wrestling community, and they're like, look, let's put on the best match that we can, and hopefully they have a banger match. I think it's going to be a clean match, honestly. I'm not really expecting any interference, anything like that, any shenanigans. I think it's going to be a clean match. I got to go with Jey Uso walking away with a dub because if he doesn't win, the Royal Rumble is going to look kind of pointless,
Yeah.
So got to go with my guy Jey. Yeet. All right.
Next up, I'm gonna take this over here.
Go ahead.
Next up, I think the next match is gonna be Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair. This build up has been a little interesting. Charlotte Flair won the Royal Rumble. We were all we were there again, and it was an interesting reaction from the crowd. We were excited. Start off the show at Royal Rumble. We got the Queen winning, and it all kind of we kind of knew it was going to be against Tiffy. We weren't expecting to see a Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte again or anything like that. And it just was kind of started off slow. We weren't really that impressed. The first couple of weeks that Charlotte was coming out, I think WWE wasn't 100% sure if we were going to react in a good way or a bad way.
Yeah.
Once they started figuring out that, like, okay, we have to make Charlotte the heel, Tiffy the face, it kind of started to go a little better. And then this past couple weeks, it has really started to heat up because we've gotten a lot of shoots. We know how, Charlotte mentioned Ludwig, Tiffy,
The divorces,
Tiffy talked about the divorces, things got a little ugly. So I think it'll be a very interesting thing to watch. Match-wise, for skill level, I think Charlotte's a professional. I think Tiffy's a professional. I think it'll probably go off pretty well.
Yeah.
I think this was a little hard to predict because I think Tiffany, like, if we had any idea if Charlotte Flair was going to retire anytime soon, I would feel like she'd pull a John Cena and put Tiffany over. Not sure that's going to happen. I think I got to go Charlotte Flair here.
I couldn't agree with you more, honestly. Shout out Santy. He always says, death, taxes, Charlotte Flair winning championships, right? The whole IWC couldn't agree more with this statement. I mean, every time she comes back from injury, no matter what she's doing, she's getting a championship. It just is what it is. And it's been a weird build to this match. Like,
Yeah.
before she returned at the Rumble, we saw these video packages they were babyface video packages. You know, she's like, "I'm not my father's daughter. I'm the queen. I'm coming to reclaim the throne." Like, it was kind of this kind of vibe, right? She's like working out and stuff. She comes, she gets a big pop at the Rumble returning. She wins.
Yeah.
She even gets a pop winning. And then they realize, okay, well, Tiffany's a face. Tiffany's not that good at being a face in the first place. So we have to put her up against the heel. And it's been weird. Like, the encounters that they've had have been very strange. Even the one that we recently had, where it seemed like Charlotte was trying to bury Tiffy, and then Tiffy just completely was like, "Fuck it, I'm going off script, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about your divorces." And I don't know. It hasn't really been talked about what the relationship is with them necessarily backstage or anything, but don't think they necessarily like each other. But like Stunna Steve said, they're professionals. I think that they could put on, like, if you look at both of them just, you know, wrestling wise, I think they could put on a really good match. So, final pick, I got to go with Charlotte, and I definitely think this is going to be a better match than a lot of people think. And mind you, this is the match that everybody wanted.
Yeah.
Everybody has been talking about this for a while now. There's hype.
Ever since Tiffany won Money in the Bank, it felt like everyone was talking about this will conclude with Tiffany versus Charlotte, because everyone talks about how Tiffany is a mini version of Charlotte, blah, blah, blah. And once that she was actually getting that push, we just knew.
They've got their similarities, but I think we're so far we're both on the same page here.
2 and 2.
All right. Our next match on the card, what do we got? What do you think it's going to be?
I think it's going to be El Grande Americano versus Rey Mysterio.
I have mixed feelings about this match. I think the whole El Grande Americano gimmick, you know, the storyline, sure, it's funny.
Yeah.
It's entertaining.
It's got its moments.
You know? Do I think that this deserves a WrestleMania match? I don't know. I feel like there's a lot better matches to put on the card.
Yeah.
But it's happening, so I've got to pick a winner, I guess.
I feel like before you pick your winner, I feel like there has to be a reason that this has made it on the WrestleMania card over Chelsea Green and anybody, or the Street Profits and Motor City Machine Gun. There has to be a payoff. I've
got something to say about the SmackDown tag division later on in this video.
Okay, but I'm saying right now, I would be surprised if they could find a way to do a body double situation. They've already done it once backstage. They could do a body double situation to where all of a sudden Chad Gable pops up and you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
That ain't right.
You never know what they could do.
Or they can unmask him and it's not Chad.
Personally, I gotta disagree with you a little bit on that. We might have the same winner, but I'm going with Rey Mysterio's taking home this win. And I think what's gonna happen is gonna be a lot of LWO, American Made, out of the ring, interference. Not necessarily interfering in the match, but, you know, both teams come out, the other teams come out, they fight each other and stuff like that. There's, you know, oh, this person's up, and then at the end, I think El Grande Americano will get unmasked and Rey Mysterio will win. That's my final prediction for this.
I mean, I don't hate it. I think Rey Mysterio picks up the L here.
Oh, okay, so we're finally swerving.
I think El Grande Americano picks up the win. If we're going down the path where it's legitimately Chad Gable, I mean, I could see a world where, you know, it's an unmasking type of thing, and you're like, okay.
I mean, it could be Omos for all we know.
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
I don't know.
But I think if you look at it from an instance, who needs to win more? It's El Grande Americano.
Yeah.
I mean, Rey Mysterio, who knows how long he lasts. I hope for forever, but that's just not going to happen. And I think that the way the storyline's going, you got to have El Grande Americano win, maybe via the steel plate again. I don't know.
Yeah. Here's my thing, though. Like, how long does this El Grande Americano story go on past Mania? I don't think there's many. there's not many more stories to tell with this. There's just not.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, I guess we're different on this one.
Yeah, there's not much to say about it. We went into pretty good detail the last couple matches, but this one is kind of just.
Yeah.
It's obvious.
Honestly, I think we've said too much.
Yeah.
All right. Next match on the card.
In our expectations.
Yeah, in our expectations. This is just night one so far, right?
War Raiders.
New Day. World Tag Team Championships. I don't think this match deserves to be on this card at all. What do you think?
Look, we love the War Raiders. We love what they've been doing.
The New Day.
They're great tag teams, and we love the New Day. The New Day are a guaranteed Hall of Fame tag team. Guaranteed. But you have the SmackDown Tag Division, who has been piping hot for the past, 3-4 months?
Oh, it's been longer than that.
I mean, at least since January, if you want to count Royal Rumble build-up and all that.
Yeah, I mean, really, when did Motor City Machine Guns debut? That was probably like December, November.
Okay, let's just say the second Motor City Machine Guns debuted. That's when the roller coaster took off.
Yeah.
And we were building up. Everybody thought we were going to have this great build-up to where the climax is a tag team match, hopefully with ladders involved, for the SmackDown tag titles with Street Profits, Motor City Machine Guns, Pretty Deadly, Los Garza. Who's that 15 that we were thinking of?
Mello Don't Miz.
Mello Don't Miz. There's another team that we're missing. DIY, obviously.
DIY, yeah.
So that's 6 teams right there that you could put in a tag match that would cook. And especially with how much work and how well the work has been in that tag division, to have no payoff at WrestleMania, it just kind of makes no sense.
It really does. It really does.
I mean, the War Raiders beat the Judgment Day to win the tag titles. Other than that, this past year, that's the tag division in Raw. That's it. So the fact that they get a WrestleMania match over the SmackDown titles, it just makes no sense. And again, I don't want to put any discredit on the War Raiders or New Day. It just makes little to no sense. I'm picking the War Raiders because I'm sick of it.
All right, so this is the part in the video where I'm going to talk about a potential swerve that we might have with the SmackDown Tag Division, okay? I think there's a possibility. So we're recording this video on Wednesday, right? So SmackDown is this Friday. We've got a match. The Street Profits will be defending the Tag Team Championships. I believe it's against Motor City Machine Guns. Am I correct?
You are correct.
I think that this match could have a lot of shenanigans. I think that you could see DIY out here, Pretty Deadly out here, even Melody Del Miz, Los Garza. I think you have a lot of teams coming out here causing interference in this, right? And messing things up to the point where Nick Aldis is like, he is somebody that's like on the right then and there. All right, this match is going to happen right now. Guess what? All you guys are going to be competing in a ladder match at WrestleMania. I think if they're going to add it to the card, it could be added, and it could be on night 2.
That would be awesome.
So I hope this happens.
Yeah.
If it doesn't, I'm going to be disappointed. But as for the reaction, like the prediction for this match right here between the War Raiders and the New Day, I couldn't be less interested in this match. I'm not going to lie to you.
This is one of those matches. We've talked about it before. I think we've talked about it on Live Monday. Yeah. It's one of those bathroom break matches. And it sucks to have those matches. And, if I were wrestling and fans were saying, hey, that's a bathroom break match, it would suck.
Yeah.
But
it's because of the story. There's no story.
There has to be matches like that in the card. Someone's got to go pee eventually.
Yeah. I don't want to get too into it because we got a lot to discuss on here. But so far, the heel turn with the New Day has been pretty fumbled. There hasn't really been a build-up to this.
That's the main thing to me.
So, honestly, I'm going to actually disagree with you on the win with this. I think the New Day picks up the win just because there's going to be some type of payoff. On the contrary, that the War Raiders end up picking up the win, I think it'll be because of Big E. I could see a Big E return right here. And I don't mean he's going to be a full-fledged return to the ring. But I could see
costume, yeah.
I could see him come out. They're like, what is he doing there? He walks in. He could clothesline him. I mean, I think he'd be fine doing a clothesline,
Who knows?
Maybe a
Or
punch.
just a simple distraction could work.
Yeah, maybe he grabs a steel chair and hits and throws it in. Who knows? But Biggie could cost them it based on what they did to him.
And to really finalize this whole thing, the main point I want to make about why this shouldn't make any sense is the payoff. Like you said, why does this deserve a payoff for New Day when it just hasn't translated that on Raw? Like,
Yeah.
every week how many times have we seen New Day on commercial break?
So, I'll say I even went live in living color in person to Raw, and the New Day were there like twice on a commercial break in the stands, and I'm like,
That's completely
what's
fair
happening?
if that's how you want to build the story, but you can't do that to build up to a WrestleMania type of match.
Right, you just can't.
It just doesn't make any sense to put that over people that have been on TV every week for the past months, like SmackDown. But that's my last note on that.
All right, so we're split on another one right now. Next match, and like I said, these aren't in order, but next match on the night one card. This one I'm actually really looking forward to. Well, we got Jade Cargill versus Naomi, and I honestly couldn't be more excited for this match.
Yeah.
It's been a long story because
It's one of those slow burns.
it's been a slow burn, but the heat is there.
Yeah.
The promos have been good. The in match interference and stuff has been there. This could really steal a show. This is Jade Cargill's first one-on-one real rivalry, and it's paying off at WrestleMania. Just for the simple fact of that, I've got to go with Jade Cargill picking up the win here. I do think, however, that this heel Naomi character is going to go places.
It's got potential for
I don't think they end it after Mania. I think that it's okay. Like, if she loses, it's not going to, kill her character. Because we know the draft is coming up.
Yeah.
I think she could be one of those people. Heel Naomi could be one of those people that end up, in some top rivalries. Maybe going after one of these mid-card titles. Honestly, I think she should win one of these mid-card titles. If not, maybe even going further into the main event picture with the women.
Yeah, I mean, because that's the other thing you have to think about is the world title picture in the women's division is kind of scarce. We've been talking about this for the past year. Ever since Rhea Ripley won the title at WrestleMania 40, it was Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, Bayley, Nia,
Io Sky,
and maybe Charlotte, but she was injured. That's it.
Yeah, we
That's
haven't
not
really
enough.
had much, And another thing, we got to think Charlotte could also get into this picture too, or not Charlotte, excuse me, Jade could also get into this picture because we saw twice now a little standoff between Jade and Charlotte, teasing something in the future.
If Charlotte wins, that'll be a...
Honestly, I don't want to get too in depth with this match. It's gonna write itself. It's gonna be a good match. I got Jade, and I'm excited for what happens after. What do you think? What's your pick?
I think I have to go Jade because of the rocket ship that is blatantly strapped to her back.
Yeah.
The thing is, I could see a world where it makes sense to have Naomi win, and then you turn around and Backlash, and you just have Jade and Naomi, part 2, Jade picks up the win, and moves on. Because the other thing is yes, this has been a slow burner, but face-to-face, other than Elimination Chamber and a couple SmackDowns, hasn't been a whole lot.
Yeah.
So you could live this on and have it go to Backlash, and maybe add a stipulation and call it a day. So there's a possibility there, but I'm just gonna stick with Jade to be safe because it's Jade Cargill.
Jade Cargill. Well, on to the next match. One that I'm personally excited for. He's all gas, no brakes. And he's going against the megastar, L.A. Knight. Yeah, this is going to be a certified bang. I mean, both these guys are just incredible in-ring workers. The story really isn't there. There's no story to this at all. But you don't need one.
This is one of those matches where you put a megastar and you put a werewolf together, and it creates perfection.
Yeah.
That's all it takes.
I mean, and especially when you get to the, some of these mid-card title matches, you don't necessarily need a story. It says, hey, I won a contender match. I'm up next. I want the belt. Let's go.
Yeah.
That's kind of what we're getting here. And when you got someone like Jacob, Jacob Fought against LA Knight, This is really hard to call. This is really hard to call because LA Knight had the belt for a while,
Yeah.
lost it to Shinsuke. That was like the worst title reign I've ever seen in my life.
It was weird.
Very strange. He wins it back, and then now Fatu. We thought Fatu was going to be going against Solo at Mania. That's not happening. Now we have Fatu and LA Knight. I really don't know what to think of the winner of this match. I know this is going to be a great match, though. I don't think it'll be too long, but I think it's going to put on a show. They're going to hit their moves and stuff like that. My official prediction for the winner, Jacob Fatu. I got to go with Fatu. I don't think Fatu is going to lose his first title match. And there's always a possibility of interference and stuff like that. But I think Fatu is walking away with this win.
You know what I gotta say about that? I gotta say, nada! Fuck that! LA Knight's winning. Solo Sikoa is going to cost Jacob Fatu because that's just kind of how it's been, except for a lucky number one contendership winning. Jacob Fatu obviously won that. And I think Solo has to cost him again because we thought that Solo versus Jacob was a done deal. And the fact that it wasn't, and next thing you know, we're at a U.S. title match, which is great for Fatu.
Mm-hmm.
I think the final payoff is Solo versus Fatu, and I think you just have to do that at SummerSlam. I don't think it's a backlash-worthy match. I think it's a big enough match that it has to be on a Mania or a SummerSlam or something of that nature. So I think LA Knight picks up the win. The big thing is who does LA Knight face next? Because if it's not if Fatu's not beating him,
I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of, that could be for a video another time.
Yeah.
There's a lot of directions you could go. I can see what you're saying. Solo could cost him this,
Yeah.
There's also, in this match and the next match, there's always the potential for new Bloodline members. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen, but I got to go Fatu. Deep down, I'm saying all gas, no brakes. Fatu's going to pick this up. I think the Solo feud still happens. I just think it's with a title involved. To make it more interesting on SmackDown.
I mean, Fatu is a dog. I would probably cheer if Fatu won.
Well, you got to get going Knight. I'm going Fatu. It's time to talk about the main event of Night 1. We are talking about Roman Reigns versus Seth freaking Rollins versus CM Punk. There's no title on the line. There's no contendership.
Just going straight to war.
Pure hatred between these three individuals. And really, this graphic we put up on the screen here, we should have had Paul Heyman just dangling over the top of it because that's really what's going on here.
Put him in a shark cage. Who cares?
I'll let you start us off with this one. What are you thinking? This could go a lot of ways, man. What are you thinking?
This could go a lot of ways. I don't think Roman wins because I think he doesn't need it. Honestly, none of these people need it. They're all bona fide stars. But I think Roman has had his time in the sun. And it's going to be clear that him and Paul are no more. And the only way that happens is if he loses. I also don't think Punk wins.
Okay.
I think Seth will win. And Paul will be Paul. And do its best for business. And go with Seth.
That's a bold prediction right there.
That's my bold prediction of the day. I think
that is bold.
I think it's just one of those things where he's always caught in the middle, right? There's always Romans and Punk fighting over Paul. It happens week after week after week. But there's always Seth just watching. And there's been some times where Paul seemed fed up with Seth. Or he's kept an eye on him. And I think that's just all planned. I think it's all part of the plan. And I think Seth could, and they could even have it to where Seth and Paul align with Rock and Cena, but that's a completely different thing. I'm not even worried about that. I'm just worried about right now, Night 1 main event. I think Seth and Paul are going to align.
All right, I could see that happening. I could, but that's not my official prediction. Paul Heyman isn't necessarily the most loyal guy, but he actually hasn't betrayed Roman.
He's a small kind of guy.
He is. He owed this favor, and it's hard to say. Is he going to go back to Roman afterwards? Because, he doesn't necessarily owe him to stay with him. It's just for WrestleMania. He could be in his corner at Mania. But like Seth said, you have a choice.
And Seth still has a favor.
Seth does still have a favor. I don't know. I like a lot of him in this. I like Roman because of that too. But this is CM Punk's first WrestleMania main event.
That's the hard thing.
The hatred between Roman and Seth is heating up because that story's been there too. Really, this might be the hardest match in the entire both nights to call.
Easily.
But I'm a gambling man, so I'm really just taking.
It's in Vegas.
I'm really just taking CM Punk here. I think CM Punk's gonna somehow get this victory, and maybe after that Paul Heyman walks out with him. I don't know, because you almost have to think like one of these men in this match are gonna be in a world title picture directly after. It would make sense.
Yeah.
Because if they're not, what are they going to be doing, right? And a lot of them haven't been in the world title picture for a while. Like Seth with the world heavyweight, pretty frequent, but it's been a while, Mm-hmm. Roman, he hasn't been in the world title picture since, last year.
Both Seth and Roman, 40. That was the last thing.
Punk hasn't been in the title picture at all since he's been back. So, me personally, I gotta go with CM Punk.
I could see it.
I'm taking
the more
him.
you explain it, the more it makes sense.
It's gotta happen. I think it's gonna be good though. It's gonna be a great match. It could potentially, be the best match of both nights. We'll see. All right, guys. That concludes it for the night one. Now we're moving on to night 2 of WrestleMania. And you guys will let us know in the comments which night are you more excited for, which night do you think would be better.
I'm most excited for night 2. Me personally.
Me too. So, like I said. Alright, and now for the night 2 WrestleMania predictions. I'm going to start this off with Randy Orton against Vacant. I think this is just going to be a banger. Vacant has had tons of matches in the WWE.
Oh, yeah. He's a vet. He should be in the Hall of Fame.
He really should be. He's, definitely top of the line Hall of Fame. But no, really, let's get into this. Unfortunately, Kevin Owens was injured. Is not able to compete against Randy Orton in this match. Randy will have another opponent.
Supposedly.
Supposedly.
We'll find out more on Friday.
Yeah,
we're recording on Wednesday.
We don't know who that's going to be as of the making of this video. So, some of the top contenders on this, rumored at least. We did a post about this as well. So,
you can check that on Instagram or Facebook.
For sure. Nick Aldis is top of the line. He RKO'd him. They've had a little feuds over the past, over the past year. So that's definitely a possibility, aka Magnus in the NWA. Aside from that, we've got Malachi Black, which is Aleister Black, which is supposed to be returning soon. They've been showing the vignettes and stuff like that. Let me see. Solo Sikoa is a big option because we saw their.
He's
little
probably
feud.
the second favorite, to be honest, and that would be the most disappointing in all of our eyes.
Yeah, you're definitely probably right. I don't know. This could be anyway. You could do a TNA guy. You could do Joe Hendry.
Don't
Jeff
forget
Hardy.
Rusev. It could be Rusev as well.
Could be Rusev. You could do something with the Wyatts here, which would be interesting. I don't think they do though, because I hope they already had a plan for the Wyatts and Alexa Bliss in Mania for them to all return or something. I hope there's a plan for them at Mania, and it's something that was already crafted. And they're not, because if they're doing it this last minute, I'm definitely not too confident with that. But
yeah,
I gotta say, my prediction. Who do I think it's gonna be? Man, it's really hard. It's really hard.
Yeah, it really could be literally anybody.
That's
the problem. For all we know, it could be nobody, and Randy is a part of a different match.
Yeah, he could be involved in the Cena Cody thing. They put out the poster for Backlash. He's centered right on it. That means he's gonna have something going on at Backlash.
Yeah.
He's gonna be probably in the main event. It's in St. Louis.
Yeah, he's
his
gonna be
hometown.
there. He's gonna be there. We all know.
So I'm not going to give you my prediction because it's not necessarily. It's hard to predict this. There's not enough evidence or anything. It could be anybody.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you who I would want the most. For me, I'm going to go with Jeff Hardy. This is wild. This probably isn't going to happen, okay?
It's not.
It's probably not going to happen, but you could accomplish a lot from doing this. Number one, you get a huge pop from the crowd. Jeff Hardy returns at WrestleMania, facing, a former, friend and foe. Their chemistry together from all their matches has got to still be there, The storylines that they've had have been great. The exposure for TNA and their partnership would reach extreme levels. TNA has a pay-per-view a week later, Rebellion.
Do we know if he's on that card?
I'm not 100% sure. I think he is. I want to say he is.
If he is, I mean, it's similar to Joe Hendry. I mean, they're not. I don't think they're going to risk their talent like that.
If I was running a promotion, I would honestly risk my talent or potential. I mean, they're skilled. They're probably not going to get injured. I would say, look, go do it because if something happens, we just got promoted on the biggest show of all time, the ultimate promotion that you could ever have by anything wrestling related at WrestleMania. So I'm gonna say I love it to be Jeff. If not, I could see it being Black. I'd be okay with Aldis. The only person I'm really not okay with, I don't want it to be Solo. I'm sorry. Yeah. I don't want it to be Solo.
Like Solo and Randy could be a good match. There's no doubt about it. But it's just low hanging fruit at that point. Like there's no reason to have Like if that were the case, you should have announced it this past Friday.
Yeah.
Even if you announce it this Friday, it's kind of lame because you're getting people's hopes up and you're just going to say it's Solo versus Randy. That could have been just done on SmackDown.
Yeah.
But all this is probably most likely if you're thinking anybody other than Solo. I'd hope he would be ring ready. Like I don't want to just say he was and that he's not. But I think for my most wanted pick, it's Aleister Black.
I would love it. I
mean, he's a star. He's coming eventually. They've been putting out vignettes. They haven't really said much on when he is showing up, but we know he is. And so, what better way to do it at WrestleMania? The only problem is you'd have Randy losing at that point, in my opinion. Which is hard to do.
Definitely going to be interesting. We'll have to see what happens, I guess, Moving on to the next match on the card. AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. This match, honestly, I'm not too excited for because there really hasn't been much of a story there. But I think it's going to be good. This is two great, talented, athletic stars. Kind of similar wrestling styles in a way. So, I think this will honestly be an underrated match going into it. When it happens, people are going to be like, that was a great match.
Yeah. I mean, AJ Styles and Logan Paul are great.
Logan
Paul, I was going to say Puffall because I was thinking performer. They're both great performers. They put on great matches every time they're out, as long as everything goes according to plan. The build-up, you're right, hasn't been great. Honestly, the build-up for AJ Styles versus Karrion Kross was better than AJ Styles versus Logan Paul. That's because Logan Paul refuses to be a full-time wrestler. So that's just great, grand, fantastic. But to me, Logan probably gets the win. Because I think AJ Styles is obviously past his climax. He's on his way down.
Definitely.
Love for him to get the win, but it's time to put other wrestlers over. And I think that's now, and I think Logan Paul will probably do something heel move to get a win, and probably not show up until SummerSlam.
I'm going to disagree with you on that note, actually. So, I'm going in a different direction here. I think that AJ Styles actually gets the win, just because he said he wasn't going to wrestle past 50,
Yeah. He
doesn't have much time left, and who knows, how his body is necessarily, how he's feeling. I think, I'm hoping he at least has, another WrestleMania in him after this.
Yeah, some people are saying it could be his last WrestleMania match.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a reason here for AJ Styles to get this win. I think it would do more for both of them if AJ Styles gets the win, because then you see, Logan, lost to somebody credible.
Yeah.
Logan could come back, have a whole new story.
A redemption arc.
Yeah, and AJ just came in, he came back, and now he's got a win on him. So now, AJ could insert himself into a, Intercontinental title picture or something like that.
Yeah.
So I got to go with my guy, the phenomenal one, AJ Styles. He's going Logan because he's a big Logan Paul fan, He's a Logan Paul mark. All right, next up on the card,
Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest in a street fight.
Sin City street fight.
Sin City, Cincinnati, Lakers and foe.
Sin City, big titties, Lakers and match. Now, this match is going to be... Like, I'll tell you what about this match. So, when I first heard this was happening, I was not interested in the slightest. I'm not going to lie. I thought that...
Big hater over here.
I thought that, honestly, all that the work that Drew McIntyre has put in over this past year, I was like, okay, he should be in a title picture here. He should be in a main event match, honestly. Like, if he would have won the Royal Rumble and went against Gunther, I would not have been mad.
Even if you made that main event a night one, a fatal 4-way, if you built the storyline around it, it would fit. I mean, you could easily see him fitting into that.
Yeah. My thing is, though, like I said, a lot of people were against this. I was definitely one of them, super against it. Then I started thinking about it. I started thinking about the story.
It's a lot there that you don't really think about.
This has been going on. This predates back to WrestleMania 40. He gets cashed in on by Damian Priest, He gets eliminated from the Rumble by Damian Priest, While he's trying to chase Damian Priest for this title and stuff, he's dealing with CM Punk. So, like, he can't get there. Like, this whole arc is big. And I'm actually excited. The build-up to it has been really good. I'm not going to lie. Like, especially last Friday when he came out and, like, choke slammed him on the steel steps. Or no, he hit the end of days, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't the end of days. That's Baron Corbin. It was
excuse me,
Future Shock.
The
DDT.
Future Shock.
Yeah, there it is.
DDT on him on the steps, and I mean him, Damian putting Drew through the windshield with the eye patch. Like, honestly, I think that this match is the only stipulation match necessarily that we have on the entire WrestleMania card. Of course, I gotta go with Drew McIntyre getting this win. He's due. Like you're due for a parlay. He is due to win.
We don't want to talk about due for parlay over here. But I could see that.
He's picking up the dub.
Yeah, I think here's where we start to come back together because we started out hot, and then we kind of strayed away. I think I also go Drew here because it's just so obvious. I mean, people say, oh, if you really want Damian to be a pure main event guy, you have to have him pick up the win. Well, Drew has picked up L after L after L after L after L in the big moments, and it's almost sickening for the IWC.
Yeah.
So I think it has to be Drew. There's no other reason for it to be Damian unless there's some sort of swerve that we have no idea it's coming. But I think Drew picks up the win here easily.
It's going to be a good match. This has the potential to get violent, which I like.
Red.
We can see some color. I'm definitely excited for it. I think it's going to be good. All right, next match on the card. What do we got here? So we already talked about these two and this. So there we go. Mixed here. I think we're on this one here.
No, this one here.
This one
Fatal 4-way between Dominic Mysterio, Finn Balor, Braun Breaker, and Penta. This has the potential to steal the entire show.
Yeah, this could be easily best match of night 1 and night 2 between these four competitors. I mean, this is another match similar to the triple threat on night 1, main event on night 1, where this is anyone's game. This is anyone's match.
This is the second hardest to call because you have a guy who's been the bona fide champion in Braun Breaker. You have an up-and-coming newcomer in Penta. You have Finn Balor, who seems like he's always due for that win, but just always falls short. And Dom, who has been a very, very sneaky threat.
Yeah. It's really hard to pick this. Like, My heart, want to say Braun Breaker, but I think it's about time. He's been champion for a while. I would love for him to move on to the world title picture.
Just blasting through,
like
just blasting through,
just coming,
barrier by barrier, just main event guy, blasting through ceilings.
Yeah, I mean, I could easily see it. Him losing so that he can go to a main event picture. Penta, I would love Penta to win.
Yeah.
Do I think it's too soon?
He's a fan favorite.
Do I think it's too soon for a championship? I don't know, but maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit. So, honestly, I would say Finn Balor, but let's be real. I'd have a better chance of hitting the lottery than Finn Balor winning a match. Unfortunately, that's true. I want Finn Balor to win. I want him to have good storylines and championships, but it just hasn't happened. People are calling him Pin Balor. I've got to go with Dirty Dominic Mysterio finally getting his first singles title here. I've got to. I think it's gonna. I think he's due, and I think that there's gonna be. This is a bold prediction, okay, but I don't think he wins clean. He's a major heel. And I think he fucks over Finn Balor due to the help of Liv Morgan and a new Judgment Day member. I don't know who that's going to be yet, but you got to think, he's been trying to, we need a new member, Finn. We need a new member. No new members. They try to get Penta. Oh, it didn't work. I don't think Penta was ever the option. I think that they've got somebody else, and I have no idea who this is. I'm not going to get into it because, it'd be a whole other video.
Yeah.
But I think there's going to be somebody new joining the Judgment Day. I think this is where Finn gets kicked out and Dom takes over with Liv and they're kind of running things. And this is honestly what Finn needs to be able to get back on his own and maybe, feuding and maybe get a championship or something.
Well, Red, it's time for you to buy a lottery ticket because Finn Balor is going to get that win. I think
on this card here, on this one here.
Yeah. You see it right there.
This guy.
No, that's Dom. But yeah. So I have a very similar role with you here. I don't think Braun Breaker wins because I think it's time to push him to the moon. I think Penta could very easily win, and we're over here being conspiracy theorists when in all reality it's the easy, safe bet to pick Penta, but we're just going to go past that. I think Dom could win, but I think Finn is actually going to fuck over Dom and then leave the Judgment Day high and dry, be his own guy, win the championship, which leads to a Dom Finn Backlash SummerSlam type of ordeal.
Okay.
And then that's when Dom wins. Because the other thing is you don't want to just throw the belt on Dom right now. You want the fans to root for him.
They're never going to root for him.
They're going to root for him. They've already started, okay? He may get booed out of the building every time you hand him a microphone. And that could be the case when he's a face. I mean, look at Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
It happened. Look at Chad Gable now. It happened.
I don't know if Dom will ever turn face again.
You have to think about it in the aspect of the past several weeks, it seemed like Finn Balor has been talking down on Dom. And Dom may be acting clueless, but Liv hasn't. And they've already put the writing on the walls that Finn is trying to talk down on Dom, and it's going to be, Dom's the underdog. And the second you get an underdog, and the second you start doubting him, that's when the fans start getting on him. So I'm thinking this could be a nice start to have actually Dom built up as a legit threat. Because right now, the way he's a heel is it's just, the heel that will never win, will always be a lame, will always be booed. I don't want that for Dom. I want him to be a legit threat. And if you do that where he stays a heel, great, fantastic. He's a fantastic heel. But I could see a world where Finn is the heel, Dom is the face, and we have a match at SummerSlam for the Intercontinental Championship.
Sounds interesting. I guess we're just going to have to see, This Sunday, we'll find out.
Yeah.
Who's walking away with that Intercontinental Championship. All right, bear with us here. We got a few more matches to discuss. Just a few. Next up on the list, we've got the Women's Tag Team Championship
Judgment
match.
Day.
This one...
This is quick.
This is very quick.
Liv and Raquel are winning.
Liv
And
and Raquel are winning.
And if Bayley and Lyra lose, if they win, I might never watch a women's tag match again.
Lyra should be defending her belt. Chelsea should be defending her belt. I easily think Liv and Raquel win this, maybe even clean, but honestly, I'm hoping maybe there's some miscommunication between Lyra and Bayley when we get that feud, and maybe Bayley takes the belt off Lyra. I don't know. I think that it's getting very stale with her championship. I could honestly care less about it right now. She's an incredible in-ring performer, Lyra Valkyria. But just what we've seen isn't doing it for me.
Character-wise, yeah.
Character, storyline, that kind of thing. So we're both on this one. Liv and Raquel are easily
all four competitors are fantastic wrestlers. There's no doubt about it. But and if you guys watched our live stream or any of our clips about that gauntlet match this past Friday, it was a shit show. I mean, there were so many tag teams that have been working their asses off this past year and later and more to get to where they are, and they just lose pretty cleanly, very quickly to Lyra and Bayley, who just were together for the first time in a couple weeks.
Kaden Carter and Katana Chance got eliminated
during
that.
It was during a commercial break. It was so fast.
Yeah, like half the match happened during a commercial break. So I don't know. Don't want to get into this one. It's pissing us off. So we got to go with Liv and Raquel. They're getting the dub because, especially if when Dom wins the Intercontinental Championship, we're gonna see
Judgment Day with the gold.
Him and Liv, especially for the first time, like with belts together. And then obviously, Raquel there too. All right. With third wheel in it a little bit,
Carlito just needs a speed championship.
Alrighty. Whoops. Oh, yeah, we got this the vertical here. All right, so this match we're going to be talking about Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, Bianca Belair, the Women's World Championship match. Man, this is another one of those matches that you could really contend for it to go either way.
Yeah.
Either way.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's hard. It's hard to predict. So, what are you thinking?
I think I got to go Io. Io because I think the way they've built this up is Rhea and Bianca are undermining her.
I agree with that.
I think the whole thing is they're trying to build Io up as a legitimate champion. If they were going to have Rhea or Bianca win, they wouldn't have had Rhea lose the title. This is my reasoning of it. If you want Io to be a legit champion, you have to make it to where she has these two behemoths of women ahead of her, and she's got to knock them down. And so far, she's done that, and she's going to continue to do that at WrestleMania. Beat Rhea Ripley and Bianca, the two pretty much the strongest women in WWE right now, and it'd be a giant win. And then you have her go up until SummerSlam or even Backlash, but you just have to have her have this big win to solidify this type of title reign.
I like that, but I've got a little bit different approach here. I would love for Rhea to win her title back, but she's had it for a while. She is my favorite. I would love her to have it back, but I think it's not going to happen right now. I think Io is losing too. I think Bianca Belair is picking up this win.
That's fair.
We have to talk about the streak, which many of you might not know about the streak, but
Undertaker lost a couple years ago, bro.
We got a new streak in the making. Bianca
a new streak.
Belair has never lost at WrestleMania.
Let's go start this year. So
they could build a story. I mean, they haven't mentioned it, but they could build a story off this later or something next year after. She is the EST. She's kind of hasn't been in the spotlight necessarily recently. Everybody else has, so it's kind of time to put her back in there. She's a big favorite. One of the best women in the division.
I mean, you can't spell WrestleMania without EST.
Yeah, I gotta go with the EST. Bianca Belair is taking home the gold. I do think that this little feud between them might continue, but I honestly think it's going to lead to a SummerSlam showdown between Bianca and Rhea one-on-one, and that'll be good.
I was actually thinking Bianca versus Jade.
Yeah, that could be good too. That could be good too. There's a lot in the air for this, but I gotta go the EST, and you're going Io, right?
Yep.
It's gonna be a good match. I think that we've only got
the main event, dude.
Is that right? Do we only have one more match to
pretty
discuss?
Sure. Here we go. Yeah. Cena. Cody.
John Cena.
The WWE
Cody
Championship of the world.
This one is hard. I mean, this is crazy hard to predict.
Not for me.
Well, with the exact outcome of this, how everything goes down, the arc of the story.
There's a million things that could happen. Okay, there's no doubt about it that like The Rock could come out, Stone Cold could come out. You know, we have a graphic here that we could show you here. That
take a look at that.
You could have, or you could have Travis Scott pull up as well. A little bit of boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, this is really the graphic that we've been thinking about, because I think what you laid out there. I think that everybody you see in this graphic is going to be involved in this match.
This was supposed to happen at 40.
Yeah.
Minus Travis Scott.
Yeah, I mean, this is... It's weird because we haven't seen The Rock or Travis Scott. I don't even know. Travis Scott not necessarily in this story, but he did hit Cody. He's got the official theme for Mania. He's going to be at Mania. He's going to be there. And he's not just going to be in the crowd after he just came off something like that, So he's either going to perform or he's going to have something going on in this. And I think he'll be in this. The Rock hasn't been seen since Elimination Chamber or even mentioned on TV. But Cena sold his soul. So he owes. The Rock's going to help him here, I think. I think he owes it. I think that, The Rock goes to help Cena. Travis Scott's in there. I think you hear the glass break towards the end of the match, which is going to go crazy. And The Rock and Austin battling it out one last time. Maybe Travis Scott gets hit with a stunner. During the midst of all this, just as Cody's on top, I think Cena does something heel. He does something dirty. And Cena walks away with that 17th championship at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Yeah. As much as I hate to say it, Cody Rhodes' title reigns it's come to an end. I wish, when he did win the title last year at WrestleMania, everybody started thinking of dream matches. Not a lot of them happened. Not a lot of them at all.
They did not. This is one of them.
Yeah, this was one of the biggest, and it's finally happening, which I'm super hyped for.
It's going to be an insane great match.
I do worry about if Cody does lose here, how will his reign be talked about in the future? May not be one of the greatest reigns if people bring it up. But yeah, Cena's going to win 17th championship.
Yeah.
If he doesn't win it now, I don't know when he's going to win it. And I think maybe you could have some crazy stuff happen in the future.
And another thing, I think Cody will be chasing him still. I don't think it's going to end at Mania with these two. Especially
Cody will be at the Raw after Mania, like that.
I honestly think that Cody can win the title back from Cena. I think you could have it. You could have multiple matches to where you get into stipulations to where, who knows, maybe The Rock or Travis Scott are involved in a match.
Yeah,
I don't know. But, and Orton, where does he fit in all this? Being on the Backlash poster, being in Cody's corner, having the history with Cena.
Where does Roman fit in all this?
What about CM Punk? There's a lot of people contending for this. I think Raw after Mania, we might want to do a separate video just on that.
Yeah.
Who knows? That's going to be fire, but I think we're both in agreement here. Whatever happens, Rock's getting involved, Travis Scott most likely, and if we're lucky, Stone Cold is in Vegas, Stone Cold will be there. Maybe we'll find out what the whole three-finger thing is today.
Don't forget.
Or not today, at WrestleMania, excuse me. Maybe we'll figure that out. Cena's taking this belt home, and it's gonna be a great match.
It's gonna be a great show.
Yeah, the end of this of night 2 is probably gonna be crazy, and we're gonna be left with lots of questions and oh my god moments going into Raw the next night.
Yeah, it should be a very exciting show. I'm super excited. Honestly, wish I could just close my eyes and wake up and it's Saturday, but you know, we're not there yet.
Definitely. Any closing statements? I mean, that concludes our predictions. Any closing statements from you?
Yeah, I mean that's all the predictions there. I do want to say I do wish there was a host. I think this would be a good opportunity to have a person like The Miz who's been at every WrestleMania since I think the number was 33, maybe I could be wrong.
It's been longer than
It's
that.
it's
I think
it's been long. He's been in a lot of manias. Or you could do Chelsea Green, who isn't on the card, which is crazy. You know, a host would go a long way. You know, it's not really.
Give me Vegas Matt.
give me the Las Vegas Raiders owner. Why not?
Man, give me Ice Cube. You know, I don't know. I definitely agree with the host thing.
Yeah.
Couple things that I wanted to add before we wrap this up. Where when you go into WrestleManias like this, you're looking for swerves, oh my god moments, that kind of thing. We discussed it a little bit before. I pray the Wyatt Six make their return somewhere, somehow on this card, invading in some match. Maybe even with something Randy, I don't know. Wyatt Six and Alexa. We could always see a new Bloodline member or something, either in the Roman match or in the Fatu match. You never know. Like Stone Cold. Like I'm hoping we get some surprises here. We get some oh my god moments, like inside the matches, of course, but then just shocks that people aren't expecting.
Yeah, that's what Mania is all about.
Like that's what Mania is all about, and I think it's gonna be a great spectacle, and I couldn't be more excited for it. We're gonna be live both nights. We're gonna be live Friday for the Hall of Fame and SmackDown. We're live night 1. We're live night 2. Check us out. We're on Twitch. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. Come join us. Watch with us. Chat with the community. It's going to be awesome. Anything you want to add?
No, I think you cover all the bases, bro. I think you guys can see up right here. This is a action figure we are giving away. It's a John Cena NWO action figure. We've mentioned it, a couple times here and there on lives and on videos. If this is the first time you're hearing it, go check out our Instagram. It should still be pinned. Go and enter it. We're giving it away. We'll announce a date for the giveaway announcement.
It's gonna be this weekend.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, we're picking the winner this weekend.
Oh, there we go. It's news to me.
Yeah, this weekend, WrestleMania weekend. I haven't decided what day we'll do it. It'll probably be Saturday. We're gonna take all the names, everyone that's followed the directions they liked, comment, shared. Make sure you're following. We're going to put them all in a big thing, and we're going to spin it around, and one lucky person is going to win this John Cena action figure.
I'm super excited. I hope you guys enter it. I want to see that giveaway filled to the brim with names, hopefully.
It's going to be cool, man. It's going to be cool.
Other than that, I'm Stunna Steve.
I'm Red.
And as always,
keep it exclusive.
He wasn't ready for that.
Wasn't ready, man. He wasn't ready.
I'm going first this time. I will see y'all.
Thanks, guys.